I'm Jim Riley.
And I'm Josh Peter with Sauer Compressors USA. And today we're here to talk about our Passat series high pressure rental air compressor and how to properly start the unit up.
Terrific. Josh, can you tell us a little bit about this rental air compressor?
Well, Jim, this is our WP81L. It's a 3-stage, 3-cylinder high pressure air compressor. This unit's 30 horsepower. It's capable of pressures up to 640 PSI at about 55 SCFM.
Interesting. Okay. So this unit's max pressure is 640 PSI. We have units capable of upwards of 7,000 PSI in the rental fleet. However, the startup procedure and protocol remains the same.
That's correct, Jim. The WP81L is one of many different configurations we have available in our rental fleet. So typically, each rental package will contain the same ancillary components to support safe operation. That includes a powder-coated steel base frame, the compressor unit directly coupled to the electric motor, a condensate management system, a back pressure regulator on the outlet of the compressor, a compressor control system, and a remote monitoring system. Those components are all included on our typical standard scope of supply for rental packages. When you receive your rental asset in your facility, you want to do a post-shipment check.
What specific components are you looking at once it arrives?
Typically, you want to check your compressor gauges, thermometers, outlet hoses, and all the ancillary components on the compressor package to ensure nothing was degraded during transit.
Okay. So once that's done, is there a specific area or place where this needs to go within the facility?
Typically, when your post-shipment check is complete, you want to locate the compressor within your facility. If you plan on installing this compressor outdoors, we do have other compressor packages and enclosures that will accommodate that. This particular package, we would mount indoors on a level surface. Jim, once you bring this unit in the facility, you want to ensure there's adequate room around the compressor package. We typically recommend 36 inches of clearance on all sides of the unit. This allows for a technician or an operator to access all sides of the compressor package during the rental period, but also allow for adequate cooling airflow across the front of the unit.
Okay, so if there is cooling air in place or some type of ventilation, could you show us the direction of that air across the compressor?
Well, where I'm standing here, Jim, is the front of the unit. This is where our interstage heat exchangers are located. You want to have an adequate amount of cooling air available in front of the compressor so the compressor's cooling fan can draw that air across the heat exchangers, across the cylinders, and the motor efficiently. Once your post-shipment check's complete and the unit's in your facility, you want to go ahead and remove the yellow shipping caps from the air intake of the compressor and the demister outlet of the compressor package, which will ensure safe operation. You can set these covers aside for return shipment back to Sauer USA. Once the compressor is installed in your facility, you want to go ahead and connect the compressor outlet of the package to your system within your facility. That can be accomplished with hard pipe or flexible hose, depending on the application. You want to ensure the components are rated for the max working pressure of the compressor package and your system downstream.
You also want to make sure that the outlet hose is not twisted or kinked from the compressor to the facility's point of use.
Once your plumbing is connected here on the compressor outlet, you'll see the back pressure regulator. This is factory set and does not need adjustment during the rental period. All of our rental compressor packages, Jim, feature a self-contained condensate management system. This is the drain hose from that system, which can be connected to your oily waste drain or a common sewer drain, as it only expels EPA-compliant wastewater.
Now that our outlet piping is installed and our EPA-compliant condensate management system is handled appropriately, you want to tell us a little bit about our electronic system?
Of course, Jim. So all the compressors in Sauer USA's rental fleet utilize 460 volt, 3-phase, 60 hertz incoming power.
Okay.
You want to take your incoming power run into our compressor control panel and terminate it at the top of the motor contactor and the grounding lug on the back panel of the enclosure. Once you have your incoming power terminated within our compressor control panel, we utilize our own step-down transformers to supply the remaining voltages needed for safe and reliable operation.
So once 460 volt is brought to the panel, that's the only power the customer is going to have to handle.
That's correct. Now, if you take a look inside of our compressor control panel, you'll see the termination points here. You want to torque these termination points to the specified torque value for the size motor starter that you have. You can refer to any NEC code to find that information.
And that's a great point. When installing and providing power to this package, not only do you want to reference the NEC code, but also any local regulations that your area may have.
When your electrical connections are complete and you energize the circuit, you'll see the compressor control system illuminate and go through its startup procedure. Once that is complete, it will land here at the home page where we have various data points displayed. You have our final pressure, which is measured from the outlet of the compressor package. You have your discharge temperature, your oil pressure, your run mode, your motor status, your drain status, and a login screen so the user can set their start and stop set points.
We also have remote monitoring services available should that be something the customer's interested in, where we can monitor those exact set points from our headquarters here in Stevensville, Maryland.
As with any three-phase electric motor, you want to check the rotation of the equipment prior to operation. This ensures everything is rotating in the correct direction for optimal performance. We do that by depressing the manual start button on our HMI and quickly depressing the e-stop button on the front of the control panel, while watching the fan direction on the end of the motor. All of our Sauer compressors are clockwise from the motor end.
You want to give it a shot, and I'll take a look at the motor?
Of course.
Clockwise.
Perfect. Now that we verified that our rotation is correct, we can go into our home screen and set our start and stop set points. Here on our home screen, you want to go to the login. The username is admin and the password is admin. Once you have logged in, you can go to your stop pressure and start pressure and set those accordingly right here on the HMI. Now that our start and stop pressures have been designated and set in our compressor control system, we can go ahead and do a startup check on the unit prior to running it. Typically, you want to check the oil daily and weekly to ensure there's an adequate amount of lubricating oil in a compressor's crankcase. In addition to checking the oil, you want to look for any obstructions. Now there's two run modes of operation with any of our rental compressors. There's automatic mode and manual mode. Automatic mode, the compressor will cycle between the start and stop pressures that our user designates. Manual mode will only cycle once up to the designated stop pressure, and then the user or operator will need to manually restart the unit on the HMI each time that they need to fill up their system. In both automatic and manual mode, the compressor will go through a 15-second blowdown cycle upon starting. During that time, there will be no pressure on the stages as the unit's getting up to speed to build oil pressure for safe operation. After that 15-second blowdown, the drain solenoids will close and you'll begin building pressure on the system. In addition to that 15-second initial blowdown, every 15 minutes there will be a blowdown cycle that occurs. Each of those cycles will be a duration of 15 seconds as well. Now on the shutdown of the machine, there will be an additional 15-second blowdown to empty all the interstage separators on the machine.
Also important to note, depending on the gas you are compressing, could determine the length and the amount of the blowdown cycle.
That's correct. On gas booster applications, we modify the blowdown drainage time from 15 seconds of duration down to 5 seconds of duration with an interval of 60 minutes. So there'll be a 5-second blowdown on startup and a 5-second blowdown every hour and another 5-second blowdown upon shutdown.
I see. Well, let's start this machine.
Let's do it. Thank you for watching the video of the startup procedure on a high-pressure rental air compressor. If you require additional technical support, feel free to use your camera-enabled device and scan the QR code located on the front of our compressor control panel. Additionally, you can visit our website and utilize our 24/7 online chat or reach out via phone or email.
Lastly, if you require any further ancillary components such as filtration, refrigeration dryers, desiccant dryers, etc., we're here to provide you with the complete solution.